mentioned the Browns earlier, the Cleveland Browns, that is. You know, Cedric, a team that a lot of people thought were going to be contenders for the Super Bowl, much like the Cowboys, who had a much better result against the Giants on Sunday. But Cleveland, just really a mess. I mean, they were really just, it was a messy, messy game. And you never really felt like they were, you know, they just didn't look like a team that was going to go from week one where they were to, you know, see great an upward trajectory. Maybe they get it all fixed, but they were really messy in week one.
I'm going to tell you what happened, Jen. Someone forgot to tell the Cleveland Browns that you actually have to win some games before you can win the AFC North.
Yeah.
No one's ever won a division title in August, but that's what the hype was about. And now you look around and Baker Mayfield, who spent part of the offseason ripping Sam Ehlinger and whatever else.
Daniel Jones, anybody he could come up with.
instead of being an NFL quarterback. So he spent the offseason doing just non-NFL stuff. But then you get Odell Beckham in, and it's a very talented roster. He's wearing a $350,000 watch during the game. What are you doing? I mean, that is the height of idiocy. It's such a look at me generation that I don't get it, man. These millennials, they kill me. But here's the thing, Jen. They can still win that division.
Sure.
But no one's talking about the Cleveland Browns anymore. You got worked by 30 at the house by the Tennessee Titans, who've been trying to get rid of Marcus Mariota for the last 6 months. And you give up a 75-yard catch to Derrick Henry, who weighs like 250 pounds. I mean, that was an effort thing. It starts at the top, and Freddie Kitchens, the head coach, is in over his head. He's a glorified coordinator who should be an assistant coach, but they thought they could bump him up because of his relationship with Baker. This thing could go off the rails so fast. Yeah. Meanwhile, you got Baltimore looking like that they can win that division. Cincinnati looks good. Pittsburgh got off to a slow start, but you know Pittsburgh's going to win some games. I'm really interested to see if Cleveland bounces back, but boy, that was a really bad start. Yeah. And I'm sure the dog pound is in a state of unrest.
Yeah, and you know, in a game, like you say, in a game that they're looking to be the better team, to be so ill-equipped to handle the Titans, that was really surprising. I mean, NFL, any team can win in any time. It's so, the equality across the board, you know, it's there. So you can see teams winning, but losing by 30. I mean, the offensive line just struggling. Baker Mayfield at crunch time throwing 3 interceptions, including a pick 6. I mean, just so many things that went bad when they needed to go better. I think that's the Browns got their work cut out for them. Let's put it that way. Because teams like the Cowboys, who I mentioned earlier, Cedric, they played the way you want to see a team that could contend for the Super Bowl play. They go out against the Giants, who they're better than, and they take care of business. They played the way you want to see a contender play in week one.
Dallas Cowboys may be the most balanced team in all of football.
Very
Chad.
good.
Good defense, a good pass rush, an elite running back, a quarterback who's coming into his own in Dak Prescott, an elite receiver in Amari Cooper, an up-and-coming receiver in Michael Gallup. And let's not overlook the addition of Randall Cobb. Huge upgrade from Cole Beasley in the slot. So they have it going right now. I just can't, Jen, I'm just going to put it out there right now. I just can't wait to see how they mess this up. That's going to be fun.
Wow. Okay. So Cedric saying today, after week one, how the Cowboys mess this up is going to, okay, we're going to take note of that. You know, talking about how you snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory, the poor Houston Texans, I mean, maybe the most heartbreaking of games in week one was that Monday night game. They marched down, game-winning touchdown, so you think, against the Saints with less than a minute remaining, but they just left too much time and gave too much cushion in the secondary to Drew Brees. That guy will beat you every time. Cedric, I mean, the Texans, their hard luck, it just continues.
It was awful. Did they really think Drew Brees was going to try to throw it 55 yards into the end zone with a Hail Mary? I really want to know. The cushion they gave the receivers at the end of that game, knowing Brees had a timeout, just baffles the mind. Here's the question, Jen, and Kirk Bowles asked me this on the podcast. What if they would have just let him catch the ball and not touched him? Would the clock have run out? I mean, doesn't the play continue until a defensive guy touches a player that's on the ground?
Yeah.
They couldn't have called a timeout. So they weren't thinking there, because I was surprised that Brees didn't throw an out route, but he threw it in the middle of the field.
Yep.
And I guess a defensive player's instincts tell him to touch that guy when he's in front of him to tackle him. But I don't think that he would have been able to get that timeout if they don't touch him, and the clock would have run out. But that's neither here nor there. The problem is the Houston Texans wasted a golden opportunity to land a big blow early in the season. Deshaun Watson, Jen, friend of Gatehouse, I might add. He was at our Best of Preps event.
That's right.
He is box office.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy. He stuck his nose in there early, got hurt, got up, made every throw. I love watching him. I think if they can keep him upright, the Houston Texans are going to win that division and maybe win a playoff game.
Yeah, that was such a great ending to a game. Obviously not if you're a Texans fan, but if you're just a fan watching. But man, as you mentioned, opportunities. Goes back to what we were talking about with the Cleveland Browns. If you've got an opportunity to win at home like the Browns did, or win on the road like the Texans did, man, I know it's just week one, but wins are so hard in the NFL. If you've got them in your grasp, you've got a great opportunity, you want to take it. So you start to see those patterns develop now that we head into week two, which means we'll have a lot to talk about next week, Cedric. So stay tuned. I know you'll be watching. I'll be watching. We hope you come back for the Writer's Block. It'll be more football. Who knows what else we'll talk about, but be sure to join us next week.